I'm Shane Chappell, head baseball coach at Southside High School.
I'm London Brusha, and I'm a senior.
I'm Jacob Little, and I'm a senior as well.
Hey, Coach, appreciate you having us in. We're here on campus at Southside High School and doing our Catching Up With baseball tour to kind of kick off the season. It's great to have, opportunity to do this. And I've been starting all these videos off. The same way I'm going to start this one off is when the word came down from the state last year that you guys had to shut it down. I know it was very difficult for you as a coach. Oh, yeah. What was that like, having to relay that message to your kids, and how did you feel about it, honestly?
It was, I think, one of the hardest things, because as coaches, you spend so much time with your players, and you invest in a lot of energy. You think for baseball, we've been working since June, July of the previous year for our season, and having to look guys in the eyes and say all the hard work we put in. It's at the time when we kind of were on pause originally, so there was always some hope that we could resume. And I just think at the time nobody really understood what was going on for sure. And then eventually they canceled everything. It's a tough deal, because you put in a lot. It's tough to just turn it off, and it was kind of a little bit of a loss there for a little while. Nobody knew what to do. I didn't know what to do. My daily work has been with my guys, and you can't do that for, I guess 2 or 3 months. You can't see them really, can't do anything with them. And, and our job, our profession is so relational driven that, it's not just coaching. It's, being able to spend time with guys and, help them become better people. They help you become a better person. So that was it's a tough deal. But at the end, I think everybody's trying to do what's right for, safety from the knowledge and the information they got. So, you just trust that whatever decisions are made is in the best interest of everybody else, and you just kind of go with it.
Absolutely. Now, you guys as players, same kind of question. I know a lot of your buddies you grew up with that were seniors didn't get to finish their senior year, but what was that like, not only seeing those guys' season end like it did, but your season being taken from you as well?
It wasn't a good feeling. I felt good about the year, about us as a team as a whole, and it was just cut short.
Absolutely.
Same thing. It was just really a loss. Just one, us being juniors, that's supposed to be like one of your biggest years playing high school baseball, and then just losing the seniors and what I thought was about to be a really good year for us.
I'm going to start right back with you. Another question I like to ask kids, what have you done to kind of keep your skills sharpened to the point where, not getting down about the season being out, keeping your morale up personally to keep working and getting better?
Well, what I did personally is I played travel ball, and so with school being out, we were able to start a little earlier and just still being able to get in games throughout the summer and get ready for the next year.
And I just stayed physically in shape. I didn't do a lot of baseball over quarantine. I just didn't have time to.
You just naturally got it. I'm just teasing. Coach, from your standpoint, morale's everything. Mm-hmm. Attitude's everything. How did you relay that message that, the message of hope when it seemed like all hope was lost to keep these guys who you knew, was going to be coming back for their senior year to gear up and get ready to do this thing again?
Well, I think for us is staying in communication with them, whether it's through text or phone calls or, we were able to get out some. You could, you'd see some of them, and some of them will pop by the field, because the grass still got to get cut. All this stuff still got to be done. Some of them may pop by the field, and it's just as best you can. But you also, you're trying to rely on a relationship that you're not just building for 1 year. I've known these guys, since 2 years. This is my 3rd year with them, so it wasn't like it was a 1 year trying to build a relationship. So that friendship and relationship don't go away. You just know that as soon as we get back, we'll get back to work. And fortunately, we were able to do that in June, and we did get to do a little bit in the summer. Didn't get to play any games, but you got to practice. And the biggest thing is kind of being a part of a group again. And I've been a part of a team since I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and all of a sudden you don't have that. How much you miss it and how much time it takes of your daily life. But I think like you said, chemistry and morale is a big indicator of success you're going to have if guys get along, and it's naturally they want to be together. And the best teams I've ever had are guys that they like to be around each other outside of just baseball.
Coach, I'm going to start right back here with you on this one. And you watch football start, and there was tons of question marks. So
right.
We get through, the crowds are different. Is everybody going to do their part? And you seen baseball go through. And then you seen basketball, and it looked like they tightened up.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it looked like they tightened up.
Right.
It really did after football. They were like,
Right.
okay, it's kind of got out of hand.
Right.
And once you got the word, okay, we're going to do this, I mean, talk about those emotions and how that felt for you and your guys.
Well, I think, what we try to approach every day is, we're going to do the work that we need to do. And then at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens. So, they're saying school's in, sports are going to happen. We're going to work like we're having a season. And then we're going to keep doing that. And like nothing's changed. Of course, we do all the protocols and, the social distancing and all those things. But we're going to work like we're having a season. And then at the end of the day, they come back and we don't. But, I would rather be prepared and then not need it than need it and not be prepared. And so we just worked all year with the assumption we're going to play. And I felt like when football got here and, as it got to at least midway through the year of football season, I felt pretty good. And, of course, basketball being indoors, I wasn't as concerned as basketball because it's a totally different dynamic, than what we deal with in baseball being outdoors. And, of course, we don't have the crowds that football does, so it's a little bit more, I think, safer. So I felt like if football can get through their year and then the winter sports were able to get through their year without having any major issues, I thought baseball, softball, your spring sports would be the easiest ones because it's outdoors and it's less crowded as what you get at a football event. So we felt pretty confident. So we worked like that.
Definitely makes a lot of sense. Now, let's talk about this particular team. How is this team right here different from just say last year's team or any other team you've been a part of here at Southside?
This year's team, I definitely feel like wanted more. Like every player wants to be a part of this team and is into too. Like they're all 100% into the team. Like they bought in to this team and what we can do.
No doubt. Do you feel a little bit more, like urgency or, feels like it means a little bit more?
Yeah, I feel like every day you can't take nothing for granted now. Every day you got to go out there and give it your all because you never know when it's going to end.
That's coach, helps coach's job keep that urgency. Same kind of question for you for this team. How's it a little bit different than all your others?
Well, last year we did lose a good bit of seniors and a lot were played major roles. But we've had a lot of younger guys step up and really just fill those spots to do what they need to do.
And then, somebody like Michael Rich, he hadn't played in how many years?
I think it's like 8th or 9th grade.
Having guys like that come out to kind of contribute, that's had to be.
Yeah, that was great. Just coming out and stepping up and not only just coming out, but putting in the work that he needs to do.
Yeah, no doubt. I thought he helped the basketball team as well.
Oh, yeah. He's athletic and a competitor. He wants to compete, he wants to win, and do what he needs to do to help the guys he's around.
That's right, Coach. From your standpoint, let's talk about a little bit what you got on the mound and what you got at the plate, and what that kind of looks like for the fans who maybe hadn't got to come out to the game.
Well, I think this is probably the deepest pitching staff that I've probably had coaching in high school. Both these guys, Jacob and Landon, both pitch. Michael pitches. I think we've thrown about 12 guys this year, different guys. And that's probably been the biggest reason we've had the success we've had this year is we have done a really, really good job of pitching it. Now, we're not going to be anything flashy. We're not going to go out there and have a guy throwing 90, 92, but we have a lot of guys that I would say, if you're fans of guys like Greg Maddox and those kind of guys that are going to really locate and throw a lot of pitches for strikes, pitch to contact, that's kind of what we do. And I think defensively, we're not as good as we need to be. I think we've got a lot of room for improvement there. Offensively, same kind of thing. There's times we do score some runs, by putting some pressure. Sometimes we swing it well, sometimes we don't. I think we're still a team that's still trying to continue to find our way of, even though we've been fortunate to win some games, which speak to the resiliency and the toughness that our guys have shown, but we still got a ton of room that we got to get better. We're not where we need to be yet. And the good thing is our guys understand that. So they're, we've got a pretty good record right now, but to our guys and to our coaches is we're not near where we need to be. We got to continue to work, and because on our area with us and Pell City and Springville and Oxford, it's kind of a war every week that we're going to play in the area because any one of us could be playoff teams, and we got to continue to understand that any given day you can be beat if you don't bring it.
Here in Etowah County, baseball to me is king as far as guy sports.
Right.
Most competitive from top to bottom.
Right.
Playing in a county like this and being successful like you are, that's got to be a confidence booster. Even beating the Gadsden City and Etowah.
Yeah, it does. And what kind of what we do or we try to do, and it's easier said than done, is try not to play the results, trying to, we're not technically playing the team we're playing. We try to think about we're playing ourselves, are we going to be the best version of ourselves? And, because you can win games and not play real well, and it can mask, a lot of deficiencies where you just kind of lie to yourself. Well, we think we're better than what we think we're better than what we are. But also, you can play some really good teams and play really well and just kind of come up short, but understood you played the best. So to us, it's, hey, are we doing the best we can do? And of course, being in this area where baseball is good, and there's a lot of high schools around here that are very competitive baseball, to kind of be in that group with them, obviously speaks volumes to our coaches and to our players and what they've done, the work they put in to kind of prepare us for the season.
I want to ask each one of you two guys this question. We'll start over here.
All right.
Playing at Southside, it's very tradition rich. It's been a very good program for a long time. Right now, it's no change. You guys are taking the bar and actually going up with it. What's it mean to play here at Southside with so much tradition?
Well, me, I wasn't originally from this area. I moved here, but the first thing I heard about Southside was baseball. That was the first thing I heard. And it's proven that baseball is important here, and it's really a thing that runs.
It's amazing. With some schools, football's king. You don't hear nothing else. But Southside traditionally is just it's baseball.
Right.
I grew up here, and I watched the games when I was little, and I always wanted to play for Southside. So it was a big deal to me playing for them.
Yeah, so like a homegrown guy here. That, you've seen it growing up. there's been some unbelievable baseball.
Oh, yeah. And
when you got here, what was that like?
That was this is a spot that as a coach, you always kind of think, okay, I'm here now. Okay, at this school, whatever, have an opportunity to be the head coach there. And this is one on that list just because of the tradition. I'm not from this area, but, I can tell you a bunch of guys off that 2001 state championship team. I can remember going to and the groups that's come after that, the groups before that, and you are, as a coach, you want to be somewhere where there are expectations and there are excitement and people care about your sport, and that comes with some negativity too. And if you don't play well, people are going to criticize you. But I would much rather be at a place that people have high expectations and they want the players to succeed, and that's because those places will do whatever it takes to be successful. They'll find whatever resources you need to, for us, we've never really had any issues where, hey, we need something and we can't get it, and, if we don't have it, we'll find somebody that can help us get it, and that's a testament to this community. It's a great community. They love Southside, they love Southside, and sometimes to a fault, and but I would rather, as a coach, we appreciate that, and we appreciate that support and that accountability. Because you better do your job because they'll call you out on it, and to me that's a great feeling because the people are passionate about Southside athletics, the school, everything, and this community is a neat community to be a part of.
Coach just hit on something that's kind of like a double-edged sword. There's expectations, but you also got to deliver them. Playing in a place like that for you personally, what does that mean to you that, you're expected to win, and if you don't win, there's going to be some criticism coming behind it?
Well, I always expect to win when we walk on the field. I always want to win. I'm always going to try my best, and the team's going to try their best to win. But when you don't, everybody talks. You'll hear from everybody that y'all lost. Mm-hmm. And so you just got to kind of brush that off and just go on to the next one.
It's usually the people who never play themselves.
Yeah, same thing what he touched on. And you got people who start pointing fingers, but it's just not one guy. It's just us as a team losing it, and it's just everybody's fault, and we got to get better.
I'm going to ask you guys and Coach this. Who keeps it lively in the dugout? Who's your class clown, Coach? Or do you got several?
I'll let them answer first.
Who'd you say was our first?
I'll let y'all answer first.
Who do y'all think keeps it lively?
We got a few guys who get loud, but
trying to think. We don't have a lot of cut up, a lot of clowning. Pretty locked in.
Pretty serious, but
I would say Harry would have to be up there. Harry Glenn would have to be up there. I think we got a lot of guys that play with passion.
Y'all get a lot of chatter when people's at the.
We got, we want energy. We want guys to feed off that. I know a lot of people think baseball's an even kill sport, but I think you can play with energy, and I think you can play with passion, and especially in high school because it's such a momentum game. Yeah. In college and professional level, you don't really have that as much. They're a little bit more of a, hey, it's a long season for us. It's a little shorter, but so you're able to kind of to spend a little bit more energy than you normally would. But our guys, I think they feed off that. If they can, the more energetic and the more passionate, the more intense that the game seems, I think the better we play.
Well, Coach, I want to kind of close it with this. Having your season back now, and you guys started out pretty good. You obviously said you got a lot of work to do. Two-part question here. You think you're about on par where you need to be at this point? That's the first part of the question. The second is, what do you think you got to do to get these guys peaking at the right time?
I definitely think in certain areas we are kind of where we need to be. I think pitching wise, I think we are probably a little bit ahead of where I would imagine us being at this point. Depth wise, I think offensively and defensively we're not where we need to be, and I think that's an area that just making our guys aware of that. I think once you get into this part of the year, it's such a grind. We're playing a lot of games, and you got spring break coming up. We're going to play a lot of games. You want to continue to be better physically. We're get in the weight room and stuff, but you also got to keep in mind that you need to keep guys fresh, keep them healthy. So that balancing act comes where a lot of that comes from we try to have communication with the players. How you feeling today? How are you guys' legs feeling? And so it gives them a little bit of ownership that they can feel honest that, hey, I feel pretty good, so we can go get a lift in and kind of get after it. Or hey, I'm struggling today. I'm hurt and I'm sore. Well, we may need to back off a little bit. So just managing those things, and then that way you're peaking at the right moments, and you're spending those energy, getting what you need to get better, but you're also staying fresh for the games. I think it's just you got to give the players a little ownership, communicate to them. Hey, let me know how you feel, and if we're doing too much, we need to back off. Let us know. We won't cut a lot out, but we can cut some things out that maybe not as a necessity. But I think defensively, offensively is just to continue. Hitting every year is always a work in progress. You go through such streaks and valleys where you may go through a couple games, and you're hitting, you're 8 for 10, 8 of your last 10, and all of a sudden, look up the next 10 at bats, you struck out 5 times. It's just handling that's just baseball. Especially the competition that we're going to face every day is, we're usually going to see everybody's, best arms. So we just need to be ready for that challenge and just handle that roller coaster a little bit. That hey, it's going to turn a corner. Guys that have been hot early in the year are not as hot now, and guys that we're not, are playing better. Just being able to manage those kind of things, and from a mental side, sometimes that's hard. You struggling is hard.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So,
and you two guys, and we'll close it out. And we'll start over here. Same kind of question, but a little bit different. Like Coach talked about, you're good in some places, you got to improve in others. How do you personally get yourself to stay dialed into what Coach wants, especially with the grind, like you said, spring break coming up, senior year, pressures from graduating, all that? How do you do that personally?
Well, a lot of it has to do just as much off the field as it does on the field. Being relaxed outside, taking away the stress, and then so when you're back on the field and practicing, you can be focused and just get into it.
No doubt.
And I like to always have a little bit of fun in everything. If you don't, then you just make it harder on yourself. If you're stressing about everything, you gotta have a little bit of fun with it.
That keeps the pressure off of you.
it's always easier to have fun when you went into it.
Yeah, because you start.
Yeah, it's not much fun.
Coach, it's been an honor to get to sit in with you guys. It's always good when we come out to the Southside. We always get a big response.
Yeah.
I can post a picture of a Southside Panther head on Instagram and it'll get 100, 200 likes.
That's how our community is.
That's good stuff. Coach, I appreciate you. Good luck to you guys moving forward. I hope you go as far as you can possibly go.
I appreciate you. Thank you for what you do for our community and our sports. It's really a great thing for our players to be able to get recognized. I appreciate you.
It's an honor. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.